The French are rioting all across their country over the carbon taxes that are going into place that absolutely hammer the poorest French. And they're moving forward with carbon taxes again in Australia and in other nations under globalist control. But meanwhile, the average American doesn't even know what a carbon tax is, but they know about the Cardinals and the Texans. And that, my friends, is why I disdain the worship of sports so much. If we were still a free country by any stretch of the imagination and weren't being absolutely robbed in front of our eyes, then I wouldn't care. It'd be like if your wife walked in while you and your buddies are watching an NFL playoff game, and she said, there's men breaking in the back, and they're walking out with not just the jewelry and the computers and the big screen TV and the antiques, they're walking off with our children. And the dad turns wearing a sports jersey and says, I don't care, you're a conspiracy theorist. That's basically the response, and then laughs with his buddies and gives each other a high five. Because we're losing our entire society right now. Our country is being permanently deindustrialized, permanently impoverished, breaking us so the bureaucrats can run our lives. And it's so sad to see it happen. We've got so much news today. We've got the gentleman joining us who got harassed by the NSA for daring to lampoon them, an artist. He's now suing them, and that's made national news. He's going to be joining us. And then the journalist that first broke this story, and then we broke it, and then Drudge pushed it out to where it became a top story in the country. But the person that actually broke it was Ben Swan, and he's going to be joining us later in the broadcast. Not so much to talk about that story, but a bunch of other big stories that the award-winning Edward R. Murrow, journalist, is going to be covering here on the transmission. And the whole state of the world and where we're going as a society. I think we should create, and I think it should be a $100,000 prize a year, if I can continue to bring in the capital to do things like this, a $100,000 Ratigan Award for the MSNBC host that blew up on air and said it's all a fraud, we're being bankrupted by design, it's financial impoverishment, we're being strip mined by offshore mega banks, emergency, 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 Dylan Ratigan. And then they fired him. And I think there should be a Dylan Ratigan Award for $100,000 a year. You have Peabodys, you have Pulitzers, you have things like that have now gotten kind of watered down over the years because they give them to a lot of establishment hacks. Like the Nobel Prize has become a total fraud, giving Obama one, Henry Kissinger, Al Gore. I mean, it is. I mean, I wouldn't take one. Literally, I wouldn't take one if they offered me one. Who's the famous rock star refused a knighthood? I forget, but I admire that. The point is that that's what's really good, is to refuse one of these awards. I am announcing, and I can't do it this year because I don't have the funds. But next year, if we have the funds, and I think we will have them, we'll have a $100,000 award announced in November, the Dylan Ratigan Award. And, of course, who would be the first recipient of the Dylan Ratigan Award? Well, it would be somebody like Dylan Ratigan, because I played that clip again Friday. And when it happened earlier this year, it didn't really hit me. When I played it, that's what's going to save us. That exact type of behavior. What I did on Piers Morgan. Exact same deal. Hey, stop the music. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm breaking with your incrementalism. I'm awake. We're in trouble. I'm making a break with the system because the system's going over the edge of a cliff. It's like a runaway train about to go over the edge of a cliff. Everybody's sitting there sewing and drinking coffee and picking their nose and sitting on their thumbs. We need to get off this train.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at InfoWars.com/show.